What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and today I'm going to be talking about some tricks and tips for Uncharted 4's multiplayer. I've played this for a little while now. I think I'm pretty good at it, and I just wanted to give you some tricks of when you're actually playing, maybe some weapon and some ways of how to do some certain things in the multiplayer to be pretty effective. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the team play. And really, when you look at this game, there's team deathmatch, there's basically capture the flag and capture the territories, and then there's bringing the idol back to your base. In all three, the team is pretty important, okay? It's either 5v5 or 4v4 or whatever. And the first important tip is make sure you have a good team and make sure you stick with the team. I had an experience just the other last night playing where I had truly a terrible team, and you can kind of tell that just in the way you play with, are they backing you up, are they helping you when you're down, things like that. But the second part of this really is stay with your team. I think when you play the multiplayer, you'll quickly find out that it doesn't work very well for you to split up. There were often times when I would split up and I would run into maybe 3 of the other team's players, because that's really how this game works. Is the players kind of gang up. So you may have a team of 4 or 5. Maybe one person goes rogue, but you may have a squad here of 4 people and they're just going. You want to stick with them. Oftentimes, you'll end up meeting the other team's squad of 4. The only time I suggest breaking up is the maps aren't that big. If you notice a major gunfight going on between your 2 teams, it would be probably wise to go around them. I know the map that was shown off in the beta a lot with the sliding and that whole middle section with the rocks. You can get by going around at times and catching their team by surprise. So that's tip/trick 1 is when you play, make sure you have a good team and make sure you stick with the team at all times. It'll really help. Going off by yourself, you're not going to have them to revive you, and that's one of the most important parts, is having them revive you, having them fire at the enemy maybe when you need to reload. I did that a lot with my other teammates. I noticed one of my teammates getting into a firefight with another guy. Then I noticed my teammate needed to reload, and oftentimes the other team, the guy will peek his head out to shoot while your guy's reloading, and if you have 2 guys against 1, you're gonna win. And that kind of goes. That's a little bit of trick 2, but still trick 1 is the game is about, the multiplayer is about skill, is about talent. Getting headshots is important, but oftentimes the more numbers you have, you're going to win. Whichever group has more numbers, oftentimes they will win, unless you do some other kind of trick. That's why you always want to be in a somewhat big group, even if it's just with 2 people. But I suggest traveling with 3 or 4 people at all times. Don't split up from the group. Okay? You want to aim for headshots. If you have the FAL with like the 3 burst gun, about two times of the bursts to the head, you will get them down, and then you can go and actually get them. So headshots are important. They definitely get the enemy down more than if you just shoot them in the body, so I always suggest aiming for the head. Another thing I suggest doing is, the multiplayer I think is fantastic, and I think one of the things about it is the traversal in the map. What you want to do is anytime you have the opportunity to hang on a ledge when the enemy doesn't know, you take that opportunity. Oftentimes you'll jump to like another ledge and you'll immediately get up. I encountered several times where I saw there was an enemy there, but they didn't see me coming, and I just jumped to the ledge, popped out, and used my pistol and just shot 8, 9, 10 times, got the enemy down. And when you're hanging, it definitely does make it harder for them to shoot you. If you were to jump to the ledge and climb up and then immediately start shooting, if they're fast enough to notice you, then it's just whoever's faster. If you jump to the ledge, even if they see you, you have a little bit of time. You have a little bit of cover. If you pop up and just shoot them a couple times and then get back into hiding, it's much harder for them to kill you than it is for you to kill them. So I suggest hanging on ledges whenever possible. Okay, another thing is grenades. I think the grenades are massively important to have. I know you can have different, like of the boosts or the kickbacks or the idols, whatever. I suggest you buy a grenade because grenades are super powerful. I suggest upgrading the grenades. What I'll oftentimes do is how I told you, strength in numbers. If you're alone, I did it a couple times in some of my recent playthroughs or my recent matches, and I noticed, and I tried it a couple times. Several times there was a group of 2 to 3 enemy people, okay, and only one of me. And immediately I just ran in there. I ran right at them, and I threw the grenade in front of me. So when the grenade goes off, it's going to hurt me, and they're going to kill me for sure. But running into the battle and throwing a grenade is a good idea. Obviously, the grenade does what, when they're hiding, you throw the grenade, can get them out of cover. You guys know what grenades do. But I think a trick here is especially if you have backup coming, if you were to throw the grenade at the enemy and run in there. See, because if you just throw a grenade at them randomly, they have time to move. If you run at them, maybe shooting, maybe pressing square to hit them, and you throw the grenade, they don't have time to move because they're dealing with you shooting and hitting them. Maybe they're trying to kill you and they forget about their grenade. And the grenade will go off and it will kill them. I've done it several times. It's knocked down 2 to 3 people. And if you have your team with you, they just clean up and they kill the remaining people. Now, I haven't unlocked everything. I've actually unlocked not a lot in general, but I think that there's several key... There's key ways of using what's given to you when you kind of just join before you unlock a whole bunch of things. Firstly, there's the Wrath of El Dorado, the idol that you throw out there, and that's very good. Obviously, you want to do that when there's a big group of enemies. You want to clear them out. It's been done against me, and I've done it to others where you throw it out. Sometimes if you're just if you're backed up into your team versus their team just gunfight, you throw it over there, they'll disperse or they'll die or probably both. But honestly, what I've found to be most helpful is I buy the healer, the guy who goes around and heals you, and I go with the Chintamani stone, where when your teammates are down, you throw it at them and they bring them back to life. I think that's arguably better than the Wrath of Dorado, the idol, because that one it takes around 3 to 4 of those like red trackers to hit them. It takes around 3 or 4 to actually kill the person. With the Chintamani stone, I did it a couple times. You could have a group of 2 or 3 guys downed. You throw that thing at them, they're all back up with health. And then suddenly you can turn the tide of battle. I remember doing it when I had 2 people down and there were maybe 1 or 2 of the enemies. And, if I just jumped down there and tried to heal my team, or if I just jumped down there and tried to kill the enemy, I was outmatched. I would have lost. But I threw the Chintamani stone, my guys came back to life, and now suddenly it's 3-on-2, 3-on-1. So I think that's insanely good. I think that idol is very, very good. It's not so much as an offensive thing, but to keep people alive, and honestly, a lot of these just a lot of the game modes come down to you just killing the enemy. Well, if you bring those 2 guys back to life, that's 2 extra kills that the enemy's team does not get, and that's a lot. And if you're just healing them by pressing triangle and holding triangle, you're probably only going to get 1 of 2, maybe neither. But if you throw the stone down, you're going to get them. And now we're going to talk about the healer really fast. I've seen the brute used. I've used the brute. It's good, and I mean, if the brute just finds a random person, like a head-to-head match, that brute is going to annihilate him. So you are going to get kills with the brute, that is true. But I think the healer is so much better in that I mean, they all follow you around, but it follows you around. It hides. It'll heal you. It'll heal your teammates. And so when you're down, you're not really, like, I got down a couple times and I knew my healer was coming, so like I was ready to go, and the healer brought me back, and then I killed the enemy that killed me the first time. So you're never really out of it with the healer. And I mean, it's the same thing with the brute, but even the healer kind of has a good amount of health to him, and he can kind of fight too. In fact, one time I was down, and the healer, I think he uses a pistol, he actually ended up killing the enemy teammate, or the enemy player. It's not powerful. It can't go up against like 2 or 3 people. It can't really even go up against one person when the person is like fully ready. But if you hurt the other person and then the healer comes in, it's possible the healer can take them out. But the most important part of the healer is that it follows you around and it heals you. And I know that's obvious, but I feel like it has more value than the brute, where the brute is a killing machine, yes, but it moves very, very slow, and yeah, grenades will take out both of them, but a grenade will take out a brute, and you can hide from a brute. And so the brute's really all offensive, and I think I specifically work well with a good defense. I like hiding back. I like supporting my teammates. Like I said, I like to throw the Chintamani stone. I like to heal teammates. And I think the healer is just more effective because it's not going into battle. You expect the brute to die. You expect the brute to go in and kill people. You don't expect the healer to do that. You expect him to hide back. And he really... And props to Naughty Dog, because the AI is very smart. Like, it's not gonna run in front of the enemy and have the enemy kill it. As soon as you die, it's on its way to heal you, and it's gonna heal you immediately when it gets there, no questions asked. So it's not like it's gonna forget about you or anything like that, and it does heal you rather quickly. So that's really that. I just wanted to tell you guys a couple simple tricks and tips I saw that when I was playing the game. I wanted to talk about that specific. I use the FAL. I use the second pistol given to me, and then I buy the Chintamani stone. I upgrade the grenades all the way, and I buy the sidekick for the healer. And that's mainly my like loadout. And I do very well. I'm consistently at the top of my team. I'm either number 1 or number 2 every single time. So I think it works well for me. You get a lot of points to heal people. You get a lot of points for doing all of those things. And I think the one final thing is the grappling hook. The hook is used, or it's given the opportunity to be used a lot in this game. Take it. Every single opportunity. You can run away from people easily with it. You can get to people easily with it. You can flank people and go around. Like I said, if you just run around to the other side of the map to get to the enemy, it's going to take you a very, very long time. But if you use the grappling hook speeds up your time getting around anywhere in the map. You get places so much faster with that grappling hook. One final thing too, the whole charging the hit thing isn't really as... I mean, it's been done to me and used, but honestly, the 1, 2, 3 just spamming square and hitting the person before they hit you, I think is way more effective than holding L1 with the grappling hook and then hitting square, the one hit. Because while they're doing that, you can get some headshots off, or you can hit them once and they're down. So I would recommend more just the hitting square consistently, getting close to them when they don't see you. If you run out of ammo, you just run at them. Square, square, square. You're most likely going to hit them first, and you're going to get them down. It's really whoever hits the other person 3 times. Whoever gets that first. And if you just charge them when they're not expecting it, you will be able to hit them all 3 times before they hit you. I don't think the whole charging up the L1 thing, I don't think that's that effective at all. Let me know what you guys think. Is there any tricks that you've seen? Is there anything that you would recommend to do in the multiplayer to be really good? I want to hear it in the comments. What are you guys thinking of Uncharted 4? I definitely want to hear that. I love the game. It's insanely good. It's incredible. This is the first of 3 videos we're going to do. There's going to be this. We're going to have a review, a spoiler-free review of Uncharted 4. and then we're going to have a spoiler video where we go through the main points of the game, talk about the ending, talk about all that stuff. So you can check either one out. You can check out both. Just wait till you beat the game to watch the spoiler one. The spoiler-free one, you can watch it at any time. Those are going to go up in the next couple of days, probably by the weekend or Monday, so you'll be able to see that. And guys, that's it. Make sure to like and subscribe to Podcast Now, the channel, for more of this content and more content in the future. And I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.